said she was. She said the wait. He said the way she. What English are you using, human? I want to say. Listen properly. Listen properly. Listen properly.
Okay, GZ.
What up, everybody?
Yeah, hey everybody, you're watching the Nerdgasm podcast. I don't get Superman. For me, Superman's worse. And I'm not talking about in this movie or in the.
Is Appa the Chewie of the Avatar group?
Yes, he is!
Okay, I'll behave. I'll behave. Okay. So I shall now log into Reddit. Let's now move on to this Reddit topic because I'd highlighted a few of these things. This is the first time I've downloaded Reddit. So if I end up becoming a Redditor, just know that it's because of you guys, okay? Because Redditors are like a different subspecies of humans. I've noticed.
I don't know. You're not on X, so I don't know if you're going to be able to handle Reddit because Reddit is wild. Like I'm not even on Reddit.
But does Reddit show all the? You see, my problem with X is because, like I said, it's a porn site.
Oh, Reddit is way worse.
Is it way worse? Oh
no! I mean, it depends. Depends on because you can avoid the threads. Like I guess Twitter, you can't avoid it sometimes. Like sometimes it'll be like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just trying to scroll to see what my friends are saying on X, formerly known as Twitter. Even though during the time of Twitter they were wild, and there'll just be some dude there, booty cheeks busted wide open, talking about this. Like talking about come get some, and I'm like, I don't even follow you. How am I seeing this? Yeah. Now I have to mute your page and block you because you've assaulted me with a booty hole I didn't want to see.
Anyway. Twitter algorithms are wild.
That's not even mine. I don't even know these guys. All I follow is comic book pages, but somehow this guy who has OnlyFans ended up in my feed. I was like, Elon, Chief, what's happening here?
Elon. And why?
I mean, to be fair, I was assaulted with female booty holes too, and I also had to mute those pages because I'm like, I didn't come here for this. I came here to talk about Batman.
and take and recast T'Challa suddenly.
Yes.
Yeah. Boom.
Yeah. Recast T'Challa actually.
And then suddenly he's suggesting we have to pay how many dollars? $8 a month.
No, that was for the blue check mark. He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it.
It says in an effort to minimize bots, he wants everybody to have a paywall of $8. Like, my guy.
That's been happening for a while, though. It's just for different reasons now, but that has been happening for a while. I don't know if it's gonna happen.
I know my laptop is going to get blocked for this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Elon, listen to me. We're both from Pretoria, né? You went to Boys High, I went to CBC. We both did economics. This is not how business works. Don't be stupid.
I just want to issue a PSA. The views of the man expressed are not the views expressed here. Yes. I love Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor, do your thing. Lex Luthor for president.
Oh, okay, wait. I must add a disclaimer. These opinions, especially my personal opinions, are not representative of Hala Corporation or any of its affiliates. Okay.
I know you go by Iron Man these days, but I know who you are, Lex Luthor. Shout out to you. Do your thing.
All right, let's get into this Reddit stuff. What's going on with Reddit there?
Let me read the story. I hope that we'll get a nice track about reading this. I hope I don't get blocked because I'm going to be reading now, and the powers that be have been blocking ourselves this whole time. Anyway, this person says, "Am I the asshole for going to Comic-Con instead of my sister's dress appointment?"
Nah. Wait. You did the right thing.
Wait, hold on. What's the whole story?
I assume wedding dress.
Let's listen to the story, all right? Because I haven't read this one. I haven't read all of it. I skimmed it because I was in an appointment. My sister, 29, and I, 25, have only ever been close off and on. It's on and off.
Okay. Yeah.
English, the English to.
Oh.
it is not my mother tongue. At the same time, it doesn't seem to be this person's mother tongue at the same time.
Right.
So don't just
we
don't
are
just
free,
me and
Chief.
them. All
We are
right.
free, Chief. We can say all the words.
The year before last, her fiance broke things off with her. 6 months later, she moved out of state to go be with her ex from 10 years prior. That's not how you spell prior. And they recently got engaged.
That was quick.
Yeah, literally 6 months later. Uh, Wait. Let's. You're right. That was fast. She broke off with her ex-fiance a year ago. 6 months later, she gets back with a guy from 6 years ago, from 10 years
10
ago,
years ago.
and then they recently got engaged. It's not even a year.
Red flag.
Okay, my sister planned her wedding dress shopping for June, which was great. Except my mother decided to plan her wedding for the exact day that person's post, whatever that means. My sister then rescheduled it to the weekend of the local Comic Con. My second job is selling art at events, and I'm a one-person show. I make everything myself, set up the table, sell my stuff. You get the point. The con is my biggest event, and I use the money to make at the convention to pay for other booths for events. I'll do over the summer. I told my sister I couldn't go, and she was understandably upset. I told her that I knew she wanted to go on to another saloon as well. I will make sure that I'll be there at one. I'll be at that one. Correction. Well, she scheduled the appointment at the other salon for the same weekend. I told her that I was really upset by this because I really did want to be there for her, but she knew that this weekend was bad for me. She said she just picked up a second. She said she just picked up a second job and couldn't request more time off. I get that I might be the asshole for putting a con over my sister's wedding, but I can't get the money input down for a booth back if I don't go. I will lose my place and the vendor docket and might not be able to get into the next one. So it could be a few years before I'm able to get back in. So Reddit, am I the asshole? Absolutely not.
No. Look,
I mean, I don't know. I have a sister, so it would be, she wouldn't do that to me though.
Yeah, that's
Because
what I'm saying.
I feel like this the organization that's happening there. These people are not talking and communicating and all of that stuff, because I feel like they would have found a workaround. But I can see why, like, you know, like as a brother, you're supposed to be there, like type of thing. Especially like if you're the only brother in the family, even if you're just the younger brother or whatever,
Yeah.
like they kind of need that presence there. But I don't feel like this dude made a bad decision. I feel like it was just a lack of communication on both parties. But like I feel like the sister also, she didn't talk.
but
Like,
also, here's
Yeah.
the thing. It's not like he was just going to Comic Con to just go and see the anime man.
yeah.
He's going there to sell his art.
It's
Yeah.
work. In
It's
my
work.
opinion, that's work. I think there's a big
career.
problem, and I think we all can relate to it here, is that people don't respect.
Creatives?
Oh, sorry there.
Creative.
You cut them, man. You're saying?
Kathleen. Okay, listen carefully. I'm saying there's a big problem with that. People have a perception that what we're doing isn't an actual job.
Yes.
So at most they see it as a fascination, or rather at the least they see it as a fascination. At the most they see it as a hobby. So when someone says, "I've got a booth I'm selling," it's at work, but it's at a Comic Con, and now I don't understand. Why would you expect him to just cancel because it's his work to come to your event that you made at the last minute in the first place?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like the proviso for me, is that like this was too down to the wire. Like,
Yeah.
again, also it sounded like the relationship and the engagement was fast, so maybe everything was just happening fast. But like, if you're planning such a big event like that, first off, the world doesn't revolve around anyone. It just revolves. So like, if you're trying to make things about you, that's already a problem. And two, if you had talked to your brother a little bit earlier, I'm pretty sure you could have worked something out because he could have maybe called ahead. He could have maybe explained the situation.
Yeah.
Or you could have picked another weekend and everything, or find some way to leverage your leave days or something like that. Like, coordination is so, like, necessary when you're talking about huge events like that. Like, again, I understand where the sister's coming from, just because as a brother, like, your sister wants you to be there. Like, my sister, the short story, she brought her boyfriend over, and, like, she didn't really tell me and anything. And my dad is old school, like, African old school. You bring somebody home, you guys are married. Like, that's
Wow.
like, yeah, so I'm like a little bit nervous, and like she's like, I want you like to sit and like make conversation and get to know this guy and run interference, and I'm just like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. But like, I got in there because this is my sister. Like, I got in there and I did the best that I can, and it all worked out in the end. But she didn't spring something as big as like a life-changing event on me where I would have to shift all of my plans. So yeah, just talk to your siblings, people, because if you're trying to get them involved, like, you guys have to have a relationship, and it sounds like their relationship is like on and off. So I don't think you're the asshole.
No, not at all. I agree with you guys. I mean, if this is your biggest payday, like he said, it's the end of discussion.
It's the end of discussion, yeah.
So was he gonna now have to lose all that money that he already chipped in for the booth?
My thoughts exactly. I think
it's non-refundable. No.
Oh yeah, Reddit voted this, and they said no, you're not the air hole. Definitely not. Yeah, because I agree with Reddit on this one. No, it doesn't make sense.
But I don't want to vilify the sister either. Like,
no,
I get
that. No, she's not a villain.
No, she's a human being. Yeah.
I think what we're addressing here is his guilt, not the sister.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just think that the sister and them need to just talk and work it out, and don't divorce that man if you've been engaged to him with 6 months, because then you have no foot to stand on.
That's another thing I always that comes to mind with that. Like, why aren't you sitting down with this girl and saying, guy, this is kind of happening fast, don't you think? I know you knew him from 10 years ago, but for me it sounds like you the fiance breaking things off was the excuse the girl needed to go back to that man.
Just sounds like she hasn't really healed from that, so she's trying to live off that dream through someone else.
Yeah, I get that.
Hey, people, make your own happiness. Don't let people make you happy. Otherwise, you'll always be miserable. Yeah.
Facts.
We got another one.
I've got another one. Let's see.
David, we stopped talking about Star Wars. Stop it now.
Okay, let me start. Am I the asshole for telling the parents of my 8-year-old niece that her art is less important than mine?
Okay, that's an interesting one.
Wait, what?
Let's hear the story.
Yeah,
we could definitely listen to. Okay. Am I the asshole for telling the parents of my 8-year-old niece that her art is less important than mine?
Okay, what's the context?
You need context for this one because it sounds a-holy to me. All right then, I am an artist. The majority of my income is tabling at conventions like Comic-Con. I work hard. I don't, not to toot my own horn, but I'm skilled. Invested a lot of time and money, and that rewards me with good income and a cool job. Nice. Okay. My niece is starting to draw, mostly anime characters. She has an iPad and a program I use because she wants to be like me, and that's cool. There's an edit. Okay. Originally, I explained that that's not great art yet. She only started a few months ago. Okay, now we'll come back to that. This is an edit. I'll come back to the edit. Scene. Big convention. My biggest money maker. Highest stress event in my calendar. Long days, long weekends, high cost, high reward. It sounds familiar, doesn't it, Mr. BuckMeister? Niece loves anime, so family is going too. Week before I get a call, they made prints of my niece's art and wanted them to put it on my table. I said they could have
Oh.
they said I could have a little space. Day one, they left her with me to be a little with me to be a little helper. She stood in front of the table directing people to her prints, and I lost a lot of sales. People wanted to look at her art and coo at the adorable child, but that resulted in people's blocking my table. Day two, I said I wouldn't babysit. I had a table to run. Her parents stayed. Much worse. They blocked the table and accosted everyone who came, interrupting people buying from me to talk about my niece. I was stressed and tired. I'm ashamed. I barely stood up for myself. Every time I was told off. Had a panic attack all Saturday as potential customers were grabbed away by my aunt and uncle. Day three, they left niece overwhelmed. They left niece overwhelmed. Her parents, her parents are mad at me. Day three is slow, but I made the most money, so yeah, I'm glad they went there.
Yeah.
Usually, I make 3 months rent in the car. Footfall and hype were high. I barely broke even. They want to bring her to the next one. Take more table space, more merch. She sold a dozen prints. I'm proud of her for that, but events can cost thousands. I can't afford to finance her. I put my foot down. If this was another job, you couldn't force take your niece to work day, but because art is a hobby, they've pushed that boundary. They argue that I should be a role model. I'm jealous of the attention. I'm afraid of the competition. I'm selfish for thinking I'm better, etc. I got angry and said, "Yes, my art is better. That's my income. It's good enough to sell." They said she needs me. She wouldn't be accepted if she applied to cons herself. I said there's a reason for that. It wasn't mean, but also literally true. It's my job. I won't compromise it. So get so get a real job. Oh no. Then they said so get a real job. She couldn't do art. She could do art fairs, easier stuff. I offered her to take to a small event, but that enraged them. How dare I gatekeep?
Okay.
That is
What's the edit? What's
that
the
is-
edit?
I'm finishing up now. They bring up my follow account and think that they could leverage it as a benefit too, but that puts a major dip in my engagement. Oh, edit. They've seen the post. Cool. Okay.
Oh.
The other edit says, I originally explained that her art, that she's not great at art yet. She only started a few months ago. Family kept telling me she's Mozart, and I was frustrated. So I was tactless about how it worded it. Originally, I auto-mod the comment about if you could care about seeing that. She's going to be amazing, and I'm encouraging her to practice. Interesting.
Okay, I think one thing that people need to do in the art space and maybe just in the content creation space as well is stop putting your self-worth and value in the things that you make. I think it leads to a lot of people being miserable. And when people are miserable, they will always be the worst version of themselves. So, like, she didn't see an 8-year-old girl. She saw, like, a bit of competition. Now, granted, those parents are also overbearing because I think they're thinking that art is like something 8-year-olds can do. And they're thinking that they can block the table, all of that. Yeah. But, like, there's also ways because I've been behind a booth before, and I've also been like where I had to like shepherd people and all of that stuff. If she had set up the booth where she had kept the prints closer to her artwork, you could be like, oh, I don't know, yeah, here's this thing, it's by this little girl of mine, this is my niece, she's also getting into art. But if you also want to do, you can pick up like a 2-for-1 special or whatever, where you can get 2 of these posters with 1 of her posters. You can like, again, this seems to be like a communication issue, like just like the last post where people aren't talking to each other and all of that stuff. So I don't fall on either side. I feel like both sides could have handled it better. But don't look at an 8-year-old girl as competition. That's not healthy.
I think, yeah, that's my biggest gripe is that this is a child. A child, and
I'm not as sympathetic as you guys. This is a hater. This is a grown ass hater.
Well, that's what I'm
trying to stop the girl from making paper.
For me personally, I think the relatives are hella disrespectful, right?
Yeah.
Because, like he said, you cannot just bring your niece to work, right? So first of all, they don't consider what he's doing work. That's why they even said you must get a proper job. That's the first thing. That in its all is the most disrespectful thing you can ever say to an artist who's trying to make money and trying to make 3 months rent, right? That's the first issue here. Yes, I get that he's also trying to support the niece and he's encouraging her and whatever, but for someone who started drawing 2 months ago to go to a con and showcase their art, that's hella disrespectful, guys. So I genuinely think that in as
But I
much
mean,
as
it's also an
but-
8-year-old kid, man. Like,
but
kids
also-
don't have that. Like, kids
Yeah.
don't have that whole thing of, you know, I have to be good. They just like, I did this thing I want people to see, and people are like, aw.
Yes, I want to
I
say
agree with
that's
you.
the other thing that I want to say. What I want to say is I think he's also missing one crucial thing, which is you never really know what might inspire someone to become what you are, or even better than what you are. Maybe that convention is what will make her one of the best artists of all time because she experienced something that she never really thought she would ever experience, and that might lead her or inspire her to draw every day of her life going forward. You don't know.
Yeah, but I think the parents of the niece
Yeah.
are the biggest issue in this
Yes.
scenario. I
For me,
really
that-
think so.
I think that for me, it's that the parents are the actual assholes in this group. It's not
Yes.
necessarily the kid. It's not necessarily the artist. The artist is trying to make a livelihood. He is making a livelihood. I
Yes.
mean, the every artist has an ego. The moment he says not to toot my own horn, trust me, he's going to press that ego.
Mm.
Mm.
Dave, happy again. We're not talking about Star Wars. Leave my man alone.
We didn't say
Okay, I'm
thorn,
back.
he said torn, please.
Okay, I was saying. Okay, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
No, basically you were talking about how it's the parents that are the problem
Yeah.
in this scenario.
If you want to have a booth, one, I don't. Yeah, gatekeeping is a problem. I agree with that. I agree with that mindset. If you want your child to come to Comic Con, if you believe in that art that much, then excuse me.
Basically get them a booth or something for themselves.
Get them a booth. Let them pay for it.
Yes.
And then they can go, and then they can feel how much it costs to have this thing. Then they'll have a respect for your craft because when they see how much money you put in,
Yes.
and then how much money you get out,
Yes.
it's fine. I mean, you have the booth, become my neighbor. It's fine.
Or buy all his art that he was supposed to sell at the con, which is worth 3 months worth of rent, or give him that money
Yes.
and let the niece just own the show.
Yeah, go on. Do it.
I agree with you in that point, but I think the rest of you guys' sentiment, I think y'all are haters.
I'm a hater.
Y'all are haters. I think
we agreed with the little girl. We said we like what the little
y'all are
girl
haters.
doing.
There's an easy fix to this. Let me
What's
add
the
that
fix?
caveat.
Okay, what's the fix?
caveat is you have a money maker who doesn't have a table.
Yes.
Basically, half of profits or 3/4 of her profits are yours. You sell at the
You
table.
know?
Come, you even promote your niece. Hey guys, this is my niece. Here's mine.
Yeah.
You get both, but at least you profit from both. Easy fix,
Yeah,
money wise.
yeah.
That actually.
No, I mean,
Don't
that's what
be a
I'm
hater.
saying. That's what I was saying in the beginning with that artist. I feel like they're going through a lot of insecurity in a sense
Yeah.
because they're putting a lot of themselves. And I know this is a weird thing to say. As an artist, you have to understand you are expressing yourself.
Right.
Self-expression is not self-insertion. You have to understand the difference. You have to understand that you are expressing part of who you are. You are expressing part of your influences. And as you talk, you express yourselves. If you feel emotion, you express yourselves. But you never maintain something all the time. I don't like the sun doesn't shine 24/7. There's nothing that you can maintain all the time. So every time you make something, you have to understand it's not you on the paper. It's an expression of how you feel or what you think or all of those things. So you make that separation. You're not going to start looking at everybody as competition. You're not going to start looking at the 8-year-old child selling prints as competition. And you'll be way more comfortable to engage with people because you will know that you're not putting your self-worth into this thing. Because now this artist is thinking, this girl is selling prints. Her art is terrible, but they like it. Is there something wrong with my art? Is there something wrong with me? Oh, duh. And then you see now, then all the spiciness comes out. She's an 8-year-old girl and her art sucks. She's not good right now.
Hater energy. So like, even
I think the lack of money is the problem here. If this guy was able to pay his rent without selling art at Comic-Con, and he was even willing to give up some of his artwork for free, I don't think that would have been an issue.
That's what I'm saying again with money. Like, go ahead, Tebello. Sorry.
Money is an ultimate equalizer. I'm thinking if your art is that good, you shouldn't be so concerned about the activities of your competition. You shouldn't.
People were gonna buy anyway. They were gonna come to your desk and
but also what I'm saying is that like we have to understand what money is. I think people always look at money as the end goal. Like that's the thing that you're supposed to be achieving, where it's a means to an end.
Yeah,
right.
Like you have to understand that this is just something that facilitates you. So once you have a healthy a relationship with all of that stuff, you'll be able to mitigate all of these situations. Like today, a panel of mine fell apart because people didn't have any of the equipment and all of that stuff. And I'm not getting paid anyway. Like I'm hosting practically for free. And people are like, why? So, but like when I was there and things were falling apart, I was trying to come up with solutions. Like, again, I was no part of the problem at all. Right. Like I am literally faultless. I can just sit on my hands and do nothing and not even interact with any of the artists whatsoever. And there was even another booth that was going to fall apart, but I had to get in there and handle things. But because I have a healthy separation with my content and who I am as a person, it was really easy to engage with people on their level because this artist was panicking and she's like, oh my God, it's my tablet. Oh my God. And it's like, look, if this doesn't work out today, it can work out tomorrow. Same story. If something doesn't work out today, if you don't make your prints today, don't rely just on the con. Make sure you have other avenues going forward because you can't just be focused on making 3 months rent at one event. It's not sustainable.
Yeah. Right.
Thank you. I think that's what Kus was trying to elaborate. Like if it's solely if that amount of income is solely dependent on the con activity, I think there's something wrong with the business makeup. Because the sales you make at con are an indicator of how well you can be able to sell throughout the year. Yes. People should want to come engage your content through wherever you are. The con for me is like, we see your work, we like it, we bought it. Now, how do I get more of it? So, give me your Instagram, give me your Twitter, give me your whatever. Where are you distributing? Are you with a publishing company? Are you what's going on? That's what a con's about. But for a con to be the cash cow of your year is something that scares me.
I think unfortunately for a lot of people and majority of artists is they like to wear, or we like to wear, one hat, which is the creative hat. Yeah. And we don't often wear the business hat. Yes. And this guy his whole spiel was just wearing the one hat. He'd never thought of ways to use the leverage that he had with the little girl, his niece, and their family in order to boost his own business. I mean, you literally could have had her there drawing all day and you could sell your art and you could get one of her pieces as a free piece of art, as a promotional piece.
Yeah, exactly.
Better together. So to that guy, stop being a hater. Think of how to make money. It'll work out.
I don't think he's the asshole in this situation. I do think those parents just need to have better communication skills or whatever. But yeah, don't look at an 8-year-old as a competition. Like that's just wild.
No, I think I
think he's speaking from a point of bitterness based on the conversation that he had with the parents.
Yeah,
that's why he said that. He eventually said that his art is better. He said it out of frustration.
But that's why I'm saying you need to make that separation, because now you're making the 8-year-old a part of a problem that she was never a part of. She probably doesn't even know what's going on.
I feel for the guy. I mean, it sounds like he's going through the most, but there's opportunities for growth and success in this situation.
Definitely. Yeah, don't look at it as a problem. Look at it as a potential opportunity.
And speaking from us, and think if we went with the same mindset that this person has, the four of us would never have met. This podcast would not exist because we're so engrossed with, oh no, this man is my competition. Oh look at his YouTube channel. Or oh look at his artwork. Oh, he draws better than me. I'm not gonna follow him. I'm going to become. I'm gonna keep him away from what I'm doing. And then I was like, oh no, look, this man has the exact dream that I have. Never. We're gonna. It doesn't work like that.
I'm literally wearing Young Nelson merch right now.
Shout out.
Shout out. Yeah. I mean, if we don't work towards building each other, if we don't see that, like I said, if we don't separate our artwork to ourselves as an individual, we are going to do what this guy is doing, is basically it's gatekeeping, and because of that, I think I'm going.
Filoni, we say gatekeeping one time.
Yeah, this is literal gatekeeping.
Okay. I was saying, because of the gatekeeping, I'm changing my verdict to he is in fact an asshole.
I don't know. I can't fully call him that. I understand the situation is a bit frustrating, and you have your plan and everything. I feel like it's more the parents, and I feel like because they're adults, like they should be able to have a healthy conversation where they can find somewhere in the middle. Because remember, he was there before them. Like he was doing this thing before the daughter started drawing. So they're coming in to mess with his stuff. His handling of the situation is not great, but he's not the one that initiated the situation. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's a nice guy, great artist.
I think he's a nice guy with asshole-like behavior.
Yeah, I can give you that.
He's a good guy who became an asshole became emotional because of that argument. I can say that. But the parents are definitely the assholes. They can't. You can't flower up an asshole and make it smell like a vase. Those two people. No. So that's my verdict. And Reddick says
what do you think, bro?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I said it before everybody. I was just saying that, look, the parents, they're hella disrespectful. I'll keep on saying it. The fact that they told him that he should get a real job, that in its own is one of the most disrespectful thing that you can ever tell an artist, because art is basically the foundation of everything. Whether you are an engineer or whatever, or you're a nurse and you're using a scalpel, someone had to design that thing. You know what I'm saying? So my point is, they need to respect his boundaries. That's it.
But
He's not an asshole.
But like Android 16 told Gohan, some people don't listen to words, bro.
Yeah.
In the language they understand. So you have to speak to them.
That's why my solution was either
say, this is what you get, this is what I can offer you, this is how you can contribute.
Yeah.
That's it.
I like that plan. My other plan was like, I could get you a booth. There's your booth. Go take care of your child.
Yeah. Here's a booth, or pay my rent and your child will come.
Yeah. I mean, again, he didn't handle it right, and I think because he does what a lot of artists does, and I'm realizing it now because I've been doing my Zen meditation things and all of that stuff. I'm realizing that people don't make the separation. They don't do it in fandom, and they don't do it with their artwork. And you become the worst person that you can become in these spaces when you don't do that separation. Because it's just ridiculous to see an adult beef with an 8-year-old. Like, even if it's proxy beef, it's still like, come on, my guy, you can't.
But from what I gather, it seems like this is not a current situation. I think this guy has been having an issue with these parents way before even this child was born.
But I'm saying it's still the root is still the same. Like, he's still not making a separation.
And for them to go so far as saying that that daughter is the next Mozart, and then still turn around and tell this person to go get a job, is kind of insulting. Because they're basically saying that daughter's artwork is superior to you, So much so that
Well, it's also the wrong discipline. Mozart was a musician. What are we talking about?
but I don't know. I'm not focused on the parents because they sound like assholes. Like there's nothing you can do for them. You know that you get those people that have no respect for art. They don't care.
Yeah.
And I mean the fact that they view it as as a whole con is an opportunity for their child to go and play, basically.
Dude,
there's nothing you can do for them.
Babysitting.
nah, but
Yeah,
but
but
for
I mean,
me, it sounds like it's going to that whole helicopter parenting, the next child star thing. Because why are they comparing it to Mozart? It means that
parents do that all the time. Like I remember I kicked the ball once, and like my dad was like, "Bona." So parents do that all the time. I just think that this guy needs to learn how to make the best of situations. Like, because remember, if you need to eat that bad at the end of the day, you need to also come up with other ways. You need to come up on the fly. You need to do the best that you can for your business. And you need to also make it a nice experience for your 8-year-old, because you never know, maybe in 10 years time when she's like pro, she'll be helping you with something as well and all of that stuff. And she'll know those algorithms and things way better than you. So like, keep your beef with the parents. Don't beef with the kid. That's where I'm drawing the line.
That's the assholiness. That's what I'm thinking. That's where the asshole nice. The nice person being an asshole. That's where it starts.
Yeah. You got one more?
Not the need, because he does say good things about her, that he's encouraging her and whatever, but at the same time he still feels raw about it, that he lost money for days. So
yeah, money ruins relationships. I've seen it. But
people let money. Like, you need to understand also, money is actually not kind of real. Like, remember, these people turn the stock market on and off. Like it's like it's a switch. Like they decide that today it's up 2 points, then it's down 2 points, then it's to the left of 3 points, then it's 3,000 base points, and you're just like, what is anything? What are we doing here? So have a healthy, just a message to artists, guys. Just have a healthy relationship with reality. Like, if something doesn't work out today, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. There's other people there that are literally having end of the world situations. And if you can't handle this, you definitely don't want to be handling that. So just have a healthy relationship with reality.
But you know what? The other thing that I'm also realizing from these two posts on Reddit is a lot of artists don't have support. They don't have people who understand them as artists. That's why they come to Reddit and ask for opinions from other artists, is because nobody else around them, in their circle, gets them.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Don't look for that external validation. Like, cut that out. Don't look for somebody to understand you. That's dangerous, because now you're always asking for somebody to feed into you instead of you feeding into yourself. Like, you need to make sure that you itself are okay and then go forward. Because if you don't do that, you're always going to have that hole and you're never going to be able to fill it.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
I get you, but I mean, things like Comic-Con and things like Reddit exist because we're all looking for a sense of belonging. I do get what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying, but I think at the same time, sometimes, man, it's not as easy as it sounds. Like, sometimes really try.
No, I'm not even saying it's easy. I'm just saying that we need to start building a culture of where people are self-sustaining. Because you look at any relationship that anybody gets into, when you're good by yourself and you get into a relationship, that relationship is 1,000 times better than if somebody else is making you good. Like, if somebody else is filling holes in you, the minute they beef with you, then it's the biggest beef in the world, and like earth-shattering, fire in heaven, and all of that stuff. But if you're good within yourself, whenever you have a disagreement with somebody, you can be like, okay, I don't have to get too upset because I'm fine by myself. They're not doing anything for me. They're just enhancing what I already have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, and I can't stress enough the importance of what you just said, because and I'm talking about the whole topic, your whole point of view from the get-go, because what carries me the most is that I don't want to make the best comic book story in the whole world. I have a burning desire to tell my story. I don't care whether people will like my story or not. I don't care if people will, when the muse inside you is telling you just write it down and get it out of you. That's where I am. Once it's out, You can love it, you can hate it, you can
Yes.
make fun of all the plot holes. It's out, and that's what I need artists to develop: the tenacity of saying, "Let's get this story out of me," and then when
You know, um,
out, it's no.
Oh, sorry, man, you were cutting. Sorry.
Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni are laughing right now because they're like, "That's what we're doing."
No,
that's different. They're trying
that's
to
not
sell
what
toys.
they're doing. They're selling toys.
Yeah.
Because the thing is with Star Wars, you can feel how vapid it is.
Yeah.
You can feel how empty it is every time they open his lightsaber. It's just like we just know it's the pajoom, just for the pajoom. Like if you look at the original trilogy, like when Luke opens his lightsaber to hit Vader the first time or whatever, it shows that he's impatient because he's the first one that lights it up. Vader even takes a moment where he's just like, I guess we're going to do this now. And then he opens his lightsaber, showing that he is instantly the master between these two. Like, you know, from that moment, Luke is going to lose that fight. Come to sequel trilogy or whatever. Kylo Ren is opening it, Rey is opening it, and they're just both swinging at the same tenacity and pace, even though Kylo is supposed to have the Force. Which I'm just like, if you have the Force, use it. So you know that there's a difference between a passion project and something that is vapid. Like Dragon Ball Super is vapid. Dragon Ball Z, no matter how many holes they have, because there's holes even from the Saiyan saga. There's holes from the Saiyan. Like we don't even get to see Goku's training, but we just assume that whatever Kaioken is doing is just going to be enough to beat the villains or whatever and all of that stuff. But you know that Akira had a passion for this thing. There's a big difference.
Mr. Extrodin, 2 points, man. I think you've said some very profound stuff, man. But the first point is when George Lucas left Star Wars, all conversation about any passion or direction as a storyteller left the room.
Yeah.
And the second thing you said was when you're talking about specifically this community, there's a lot of people who are going through a lot of pressure. They have no support. They're very isolated. I feel for everybody in this community because I think at some point everybody in this community has been a loner at some point. They've all had self-doubt. They've all questioned themselves, their own value to society. And I think you bring up a really good point. And I just hope whoever's listening to this, I just hope they know they're not alone. There's people out here. This community is not just loners anymore. You can be a part of a community and you can share your experiences, man. Because I do get you. It's very hard for people who are alone. And obviously, if you're so far out, you probably won't even you won't watch this video. You're probably just in your room in the dark. But hopefully, if you are on the internet and you click on this, I just hope that message reaches you, man. But yeah.
And also, please understand society is fake. It's just a bunch of people deciding a thing is a thing. That's all like society and culture is. Like 10 years ago, on fleek was a thing. Who says on fleek now? When's the last time you heard it? Like, also, I feel like people think that certain things are real when we have to understand we decide these things. We make it up all the time.
And usually it's the people closest to you. I mean, it's usually your family, your friends that doubt why you're a part of this community. And I just hope you find the people that connect to you, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, what Tebello said something very profound. I just want to reiterate. I just want to say, like, if you're an artist, you're maybe struggling to pay rent and you feel you're alone because the people that you love the most, because clearly this guy loves these people. That's why he's so passionate about this thing. They don't get you and they're telling you to get a real job. What I would suggest is don't just also focus on the hard copy stuff that you have. Do a soft copy of your stuff. Do webtoons.
Yes. Expand.
Collaborate with an animator. Try to do animated music video, learn animation or whatever. Do stickers, do online stuff. I don't understand NFTs. Try those. But what I'm trying to say is don't just focus on going to Comic-Con and hoping to get 3 months worth of rent from that. You can expand your merch. I mean, look, look at Shonen Jump, for example. They do manga of a story, then they do an animated version of the same story. Then later on, they do a live action version of that story. They do musicals. They do movies. They do games. They do T-shirts. They do. So don't just limit your art. Don't just go there hoping that someone will buy your art in a physical copy form or from a canvas or a printed comic book. You can do digital versions.
Yeah.
So you can do audiobooks of your comic books. Don't limit.
Yeah, and don't depend on people's respect. It's nice when you get it, but you don't usually get it. Like now, like my dad is just tired. I think he disrespected this thing for the longest time. He didn't understand it. He was even angry when I was doing it, even though it's interesting that he's kind of the one that introduced me to it because he used to be a big Mario fan, which is, you know, take that for what you will. But like I think he's at the point where he's just like, okay, this is who this guy is, and this is what it is. But I'm saying, if I ever waited for my dad's respect to do something, I don't think I would have done anything.
It would have been Zuko, not Zuko.
And to add to that, I mean, like today on my way back from this event, my mom said to me, like, I'm so glad you've got people who understand this world as much as you do, because I don't understand it, and I see how passionate you're about it. This is the first time that she opened up like that about it, because she says, I see from a perspective where I understand A, B, C, D, E, F. Like I understand panel, I understand business. I don't understand the artwork. I don't understand. She doesn't understand that. I have to sit and explain it. She's the best editor. She's the one who notices all my spelling mistakes in every single one of my comments. Like, what? This sentence doesn't make sense. She's trying to support as much as she can, but she also has this thing that it's not her world. So when I was busy going off all excited and saying, hey, these people are messaging me saying they want to collab, or this person is now giving me a whole dissertation of companies that I must approach whenever I release this thing. Because we released one about the Kung Fu movies, and the guy said, dude, why don't you go to all your nearest dojos and say that you're making something about Kung Fu, and then they can support you like that. Those are the things that I was expressing, like these people are trying to help me. And she says, I wish I could help you like that. That's what basically she said.
That's shout out to your mom,
man.
Yeah, the mom and dad my mom and dad are like my biggest fans. We may not see eye to eye in many things, but when it comes to doing what you're here supposed to do, it's the lesson I want to give everybody that they taught me is become loud about it. Doubters will make you want to keep quiet and squash things and keep it in yourself. Your job, you've got only one lifetime to express who you really are. Become irritatingly loud about it. If it doesn't make sense to the people at home, it will make sense to someone across the street. So long as you are making a noise. By making a noise, I mean expressing yourself. Don't compromise on expressing what you are and what you are here to do. Because everyone knows this is a call.
If anybody didn't know, if anybody watching this had no idea, nobody believed in George Lucas's Star Wars. Nobody.
True.
Except for Steven, but I think only after he saw the rough cut. But yeah,
they gave away their rights.
Even Francis Ford Coppola, the guy who did The Godfather. But what I'm just saying is,
Stan Lee and Spider-Man. Like people didn't believe in Spider-Man was supposed to be a throwaway idea, and Stan was just like, I just got to get this out. I have this brilliant idea that I just got to get out. Then him and Steve Ditko did Amazing Fantasy 15, and look where Spider-Man is right now.
Yeah.
So look, guys, I think the moral of the story is we do get it. I know it's a lonely journey. We've all felt the sting of loneliness, and the reason why, in fact, the reason this channel exists is in an effort to let everybody in this country know that you are not alone.
Yeah, and your work will find its audience.
It will.
You don't have to appeal to everyone. I mean, there's plenty of. We're talking about Star Wars. Like we said, hundreds of billions of dollars made.
But the people who haven't watched the movie,
people who never watched the movie, they don't care about it. 50 Shades of Grey. I might not be the target audience, but it's a very successful book series. Screw it. Who cares what I say?
Yes. There's always room. There's always room for this world. To quote Professor Xavier, that the world needs dreamers to give it a soul. We need you. We need you. We need your art. We need your dreams. Don't give up on them. And especially because the people who are closest to you, who are supposed to love you and support you, are the ones who are doubting you. And it's so easy to be tempted to give up. There's someone out there who needs it.
And enjoy the sun, my peoples. And enjoy the oxygen.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff is way more important than anything that you're gonna make. Like, just be happy you woke up today. That's a big deal. A lot of people didn't.
That's a dope line right there. That's profound.
Guys, I think we're channeling our inner Naruto.
Anyway,
that was some serious Talk No Jutsu.
Let's move on to the next topic before we start crying and stuff, because then
I love you guys.
Oh God. All right, there's this new one. Am I the asshole for rescinding my promise to pay for my nephew's birthday present?
Okay.
My male 44. Wait. My nephew. Oh, me, 44-year-old female, nephew, 15-year-old male, is super into my nephew is super into comic books, anime, and all that kind of thing. I'm not his parent. It's not his parents' thing, so he hasn't been able to go to any conventions for it. And really, okay. And he really wanted to go to one of his upcoming one for his upcoming 16th birthday. Wow, the sentences. I can't read at the same time, guys. Guys, I have dyslexia. Nah? You must understand.
Not our language, Chief.
And it's not our language.
Let's say all the words.
Well, yeah, I will break this English. I will meta the English. Nah?
Yeah.
I will be the same lady who did the things that cannot make the pot to be done.
yeah, that one.
Nobody's judging you. Trust me.
Woo! Wait, I mean
here.
Okay, here, yeah. Wait until the comments.
We are in Africa, Chief. This is not our language. You can over the English.
All right. So he wanted to go for his 16th birthday. There's a smaller, reasonably priced comic convention in our city this summer. So I promised to take him as a late birthday gift. My wife and I bought the weekend passes for ourselves, for him and our daughter, who is also autistic. All right. Our daughter is a very talented seamstress. We explained to her that what the convention would be like, and she was clear that she wanted to go, provided she could wear noise-canceling headphones so she can go back to the hotel room at any time. Yeah. She wanted to wear matching costumes with her cousin. He loves the
Filoni, dog, relax.
Oh, I'm back.
We lost
you. He loves the what?
Okay. Oh, he loves the Dark Knight trilogy, which is
Batman. Okay.
So he told her he would be Batman, and she could pick whatever character she wanted. She chose Scarecrow. So the mask could also cover her headphones. She doesn't like people giving her odd looks for wearing them.
Smart child.
So she threw herself. Yeah, she's autistic, remember?
Yeah, but I'm saying, have you seen some people at Gone?
Oh, yeah.
There was a dude that was just shirtless, and I don't know what his cosplay was. He was just shirtless.
I think he was trying to cosplay Monkey D. Luffy without.
No, there was nothing. There was no hat. He was just in black pants, sandals, and he was shirtless.
I have no idea who that is. Oh, it could be. Wait. That sounds like that guy from Tokyo Revengers.
No, it's not. No, he was not Mikey. He didn't have a coat or anything. He was just shirtless.
Okay. No, I give up. It was hot. Yeah.
No, he looked like he wasn't carrying any other shirt, clothes, or anything. He was just in jail.
Okay, I can't explain it. I'm sorry. There's no defending it. Okay, let me continue. So she threw herself into making the costume. Sued a fitted suit, a straight jacket, and spent most of the weekend constructing the mask so she couldn't cause any sensory issues. She lined the inside with softer material, so it was very clever. Yes, she is a very clever girl. I admit.
Yeah. I'm impressed.
When my nephew came over last week to visit, she showed him the costume, and she was very proud. I thought he'd be happy to see what she was so into it, but he got very, very annoyed and became really nasty. He told her she hadn't even seen the movies or read the comics and said her costume was terrible and called her some hurtful things.
Who is this kid?
Yeah.
He's taking this Batman thing very seriously. Yeah?
It was all very sudden. She couldn't understand why he suddenly flipped like that, and she had a meltdown. She was so obsessed that she tried to throw the costume away, but my wife stopped her and put it in our closet. I told him that I'm not taking to the convention after what he said, and his mother, my sister, is furious with me. She says I'm going back on my promise because he made comments. He did apologize, but I didn't like the excuse he gave. He said she was she said the wait. He said the way she. What English are you using, human? I want to say. Listen properly. Listen properly.
Okay, GZ.
All right. But I didn't like the excuse he gave. He said the way she was talking made him suddenly realize how hard it would be to have her around. I told him my mind was made up and he wasn't coming. Now some of my friends are saying that I'm being unfair for breaking my promise. Am I the asshole? To clarify, my daughter has a mild intellectual disability and is semi-verbal. She was not intentionally trying to show off. She was just trying to bond with him. It makes sense, but whatever.
Okay, I mean, look, the 15-year-old kid and all of that stuff. In my opinion, I get the need to teach the lesson and everything, and I don't even want to say that this dude is an asshole because I don't think he is, and I think the kid needs to learn that actions have consequences because that's how the universe works in general, anyway. But they like me in particular. If it was me in that situation, I probably would have still figured out a way to take him with, and then make him spend the day with the daughter to figure out what his beef and his issue is. But I don't think the parent made the wrong decision in this point.
Make the wrong decision. I think the problem is, I think the kid is not informed enough about autism and what it can actually do to the person who has it, because clearly she's disgruntled by what he said, right? So I'm thinking that had he been more aware of her situation, I don't think he would have done that. I don't think he was deliberate in that.
I don't think autism is the issue here. I think the attitude of the 15-year-old kid is the issue here. Like, I feel like because he just went into attack mode. Like, autism is not the problem here because that would just be rough for anybody. Like, if I made a suit and somebody just came at me out of the blue after we decided to go to this thing together, I would just be like, bro, what did I do? Jesus.
I think I'm just basing it on the whole explanation of how she made the mask and she's doing headsets and trying whatever. But also, what I'm just trying to say is, I think he also needs to understand that Batman is not real.
Oh, no. Oh, here they come. Oh, no. Here they come. Oh, they come. Oh, my comment section.
If I go to Comic-Con and see the Joker, I'm not going to beat him up because he's the Joker and he didn't see the movie, and you're coming to Comic-Con dressed as the Joker, but you didn't see the Dark Knight? No, it's like, dude, this person just loves the Joker from the movie. I love Batman. There's nothing wrong with it. We're all human beings, you know. So if he was dressing as Scarecrow and she didn't see the movie, what's your problem?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say what y'all are too afraid to say. That kid is a proper asshole.
He's 15. He's we all were dumb at 15.
We are all dumb at 15, but we all have a choice to be rude.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're being rude to somebody who has a disability. Number one. Number two, that girl is 19 years old. You've had all of your life to know that this child was slow or different.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say slow. Sorry for using the S word. She's different, and you decided to snap at her with regards to this because, quote unquote, you felt you had the way she talks, and you're worried about how it's going to happen at the convention. That's not that is not a good enough reason. And whoa, no, I think I'm getting riled up right now for that for on behalf of the parent. That imagine some kid yelling at your daughter who you know is struggling, and she went through all this effort to make this costume to compensate for her for her disabilities, to make it as enjoyable as a process as she can. She can get to go to the hotel if it gets overwhelming. She's wearing noise cancelling headphones. She went through all that effort, and then you say somebody's yelling at your child. I don't care whose baby you are. You're not gonna talk to my baby like that.
But I mean, for me, I want to go beyond the autism. I'm just feel like that's just bad in any scenario. Even if the person didn't have autism, it's just like, why are you coming out of me for left field for a costume? Pillar, sorry, we've been talking like
no, you guys are on point, man. Like, what can I really say? Like, you attacked a child.
What more can you say?
How can I, say anything? I totally understand the parents. The kid was, it's just pettiness.
It is pettiness. And I would have, maybe this is the reason I'm not a parent. So I can't think from a parent's perspective, because I'd absolutely take away those tickets. Like, get somebody man with you, with all that, with us.
Yeah.
Imagine going with that same rude child. You go into the car with that rude child who yelled at your daughter, all the way to the convention, do all that crazy stuff, come back.
I mean, again, it's not healthy to hold a grudge against anybody. It's just not healthy. But I feel like also the mom who's saying you're taking this thing, you need to also talk to your kid about how he talks to people. Because, again, the autism definitely makes this worse, but I just want to focus on the fact that there's no reason to come at people left field just because of a cosplay. Remember, this is not professional, they're not competing, and whatever this kid's issue is, it seems like it's more deep-rooted in something else other than just this costume thing. Like, there's a chance he talks to other people like this, and it's not a good attitude to have, especially around something as inclusive as con. Because I saw so many people of different kinds today. I saw some people who had perceived disabilities that were making those disabilities work as they were being con goers. So, that family needs to, because also the mom is sounding spicy to me, because the first thing she does is you're taking away the promise or whatever. It's like, did you hear what your kid said though?
Yeah.
That's you got to address that. You can't just speed past that.
And that 15-year-old kid is showing all the textbook sign of gatekeeping to the nth degree. If they haven't seen the movie, then why don't you go sit down with the girl and watch the movie?
Gatekeeping is at an all-time high, man. I mean, you're right. It's at an all-time high, bro.
I think the thing is though, for example, I'm going through a perfect situation where people are calling me a gatekeeper because of the T'Challa stuff, and it's just like when
that's not the definition of gatekeeping, though.
Yeah, but people are calling it that because they're saying I want what is in the comics and all of that stuff and etc. And I'm calling them fake fans because they don't read comics and anything, which I mean is bogus and ridiculous. It's not what's happening. But I think also in fandom, it's just when something was yours, and now you have to share it with everybody, and they don't have the same feelings that you have. You feel like you have to step up to protect it. Whereas what you should probably be doing is first off make the separation, then understand that you can be all inclusive while respecting the material that you love so much. This kid is at that stage where Batman is everything to him, and anyone who touches anything of Batman is touching some part of his soul that he doesn't want to have a hand on. And his parents and just everybody out there that's in the creative space, just learn to make the separation. You will always know how to handle situations better if you can separate yourself from them when you're in the heat of it. He couldn't do that. His mom can't do that. And yeah, I think he's got to learn this lesson in this particular instance. Personally, me, I still would have taken him just because that's the guy that I am, but I don't think the parent made a bad decision.
At the same time, Cham, you're 16 years old. There will be perfect. There are so many. You've got so many years to eventually go to con. It's not the end of the world. Learn your lesson. Learn how to open up and be more inclusive. I loved Lord of the Rings better than most people I know. I've read the ridiculously oversized book back in high school.
Yo,
I
I tap.
But because of that, I don't go around going to people and being all snobby and saying, no, actually, this only happened in the movies and the books. I can't do that. When I see someone else who loves Lord of the Rings, I light up. I'm like, wow, yeah, we've got someone else. We've got something to relate to. It's not, oh, you didn't watch this particular movie, so you only understand this nuance. Because of that, you can't be part of this group anymore. You can't sit with us. This you can't sit with us attitude is very dangerous, and I don't have any patience for it. I'm so sorry.
I agree with you guys, man. Like, I just hope it will change, because unfortunately the internet, you would think the internet would have helped the gatekeeping culture die. But I feel like now it's just
made it
become so
stronger.
much with, because obviously we don't know everything about everything. So you have multiple interests. Someone will be more specifically knowledge in one thing or one character or one comic, and you will be in another. But then now there's this whole thing of, oh, you don't know Batman because, it's too much, man.
Yeah.
Everybody chill. Just
It's
chill.
not that serious.
The moment I heard,
It's not that
It's just
deep.
not that serious. I'm sorry.
But also on that note, as a
Yeah,
gatekeeper,
yes.
Super is whack. Anyone who watches Super is not a real Dragon Ball.
No. Like, people need
That
to
was a joke,
understand.
Michael.
No, I'm saying, like, people need to understand with Super, right? It's not that we're gatekeeping. It's just that it's ruining what came before it for no reason. So I like it, love it.
I also
It's
like
it.
Super parts of it.
I hate all of it, but if you like it, please, I will not take your enjoyment. But don't tell me it's the same series. Don't tell me Goku's the same character. That's all I'm saying.
I won't go so far. I don't like Super. You've heard what I have to say about Broly. I've said about all the characters, but I will not go so far as to tell people that like Super that they're not Dragon Ball fans. That's a lie.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
No, that's a lie.
You like certain
I was a
parts
joke.
of
It was a
Dragon-
joke when I said it. So.
Yeah, no, we know.
We know.
Anybody who's just like he actually says it's like a relax. Okay.
The context I'll put is like I haven't watched Thousand Year Blood War arc. I'm not going to.
But you're like the biggest Bleach fan, but I get it.
Yeah, it's like I told you.
No. But he's a fake Bleach fan because he decides not to consume some content or something.
Now, if there's somebody who's going crazy at the Thousand Year Blood War arc and they love it to death and they say it's the best thing they've ever heard, I will not agree with you. But I'm not gonna dismiss you and say you're not a real fan. What?
Yeah. No, it's like it's so easy to disagree and not be dicks about it. It's not that hard.
But we have a culture that glorifies.
No, because again, that's that thing I was telling you about with separation. Like it's like there's a lot of people who are not. There's consciousness and then there's compulsiveness. Like there's a compulsive need to defend this thing that you think needs your defense. Like there's also like people do this with celebrities all the time.
Yeah.
Like people really think Will Smith needs them to defend him. And I'm just like, Will Smith is fine wherever he is.
Yeah.
He doesn't need you to have this 4-hour debate on his behalf
That's
for a
true.
wife that you're not married to. Like
That's true.
like when you make that separation, when you understand and have a healthy relationship with reality, it will help you so much in your life going forward, where you will know where to pick your battles.
I think we should call this segment BuckMeister advises everyone to go outside and touch grass.
Yeah.
Touch some grass, guys. It's okay.
I just want to say something. I think, look, I also thought about this. Sorry, guys, for hiding my face. I feel like if I don't eat something, I might faint. But
okay.
No, not a problem. Not a problem.
I just wanted to say that. I was also thinking that the kid should have gone to con, but also I'm thinking that he protected his daughter from any form of bullying, right? So his daughter will forever remember her dad as the hero here, more than any superhero.
To correct you, I think it's the mom, because she said she's 22 female, so they're in a lesbian relationship.
Oh, is it a lesbian relationship? Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Yes, the mom.
Yeah.
The mom will forever be a hero in her eyes because she basically protected her daughter from her cousin, you know, and that was sort of like practice for any other person that she might have encountered at con who did this, who probably might have done the same thing.
I mean, con has been pretty inclusive. My experience here, I don't think there would be anybody that would do that. But like, I think just beyond the autism, like the autism is like a one aspect, but I think that 15-year-old kid has also got some like issues that they need to work through. And I think in society we need to make sure we don't do this thing where we vilify people, but we don't give them a chance,
to learn,
to come back. Because in society we do that a lot.
What do you mean? When you cancel someone, they die and they never reappear,
never come back. So what I'd want from him, and I think that's what I'm detecting from the mother here, is that apology that he gave doesn't really cut it.
I mean, maybe he doesn't also have the words for it as well, you know?
It sounds like he apologized because his mom told him to.
Yeah, if you wanted to say I'm sorry, an apology is I'm sorry, I was out of line. Whatever the truth, the apology needs to come from a standpoint of truth. And you need to own up to the truth, or that I felt gatekeepy, or maybe the costume was too awesome, so awesome that I felt jealous, and I don't care. So
you're asking for a lot of maturity from a 15-year-old, and I like, again, let him learn the lesson. He has to stay home. That is what it is. But I just feel like as a society moving forward or whatever, we need to make like we need to start building this institution of it's okay to love and be passionate about something, but don't confuse that with who you are. Like if this thing disappears tomorrow, like if they never recast T'Challa, I'm not gonna get a heart attack. That's not how this works.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go hard every day because I believe in this thing. But I'm not confusing it for who I am. I'm not saying that if this guy never shows up on screen, I'm just going to bury myself in the sand and never come out again. And I think a lot of people have that attitude about this geek fandom stuff.
Also, I think we should not paint the mom as an angel, because at the end of the day, she still owes this guy a birthday present, despite whatever he did. She didn't stick to her promise.
Yeah, but again, promises are made up, bruh. Like, I feel like if he did what he did, like, she has the right to respond the way she did. Like, I just feel like because the way he came at this girl was unnecessary. Autism or no autism.
Definitely. What I'm trying to say is this Comic-Con thing was sort of like a make-up of her not getting the gift and all of that. Remember, it was that.
Yeah, no, she got him. She said it's going to be a late birthday present because he always wanted to go to the con for his 16th birthday.
Yeah, like, the ticket was the gift. That was the idea.
Was the gift. Yeah, and yes, it is. It is as oldish for her just to take away the gift away, but at the same time,
for good reason.
For its good reason, right? And yeah, the other way you could solve it, you could have given him the ticket and said, "No, you can go alone. We're not going with you."
Right.
That's another thing you could have done. But leaving a 16-year-old in a convent.
No. I think she pulled the right move for the way she reacted. I just know that me personally, probably I would have made them talk to their parents. We would have had a sit down. We would have figured out what the hell is going on here, and then we would have all gone to con. That's just personally what I would have wanted to do. Yeah, but I don't see anything particularly wrong with what she did.
Going back to your original statement, there's a huge communication issue here.
Yeah.
I think, these Redditors, they don't know how to communicate. That's the bottom line. So, if you have an issue, right, we've got this issue, and the child still wants to go to the con, he obviously does, and he's remorseful, we get to that point of understanding. Mom, dad, mom, child, daughter, sit down, talk it out, let it air out all the gunk so that we can have a healthy relationship. Because right now the wounds that are festering that haven't healed, and the stalemate is that I'm not gonna take it to the con. And I understand all the Redditors are saying no, you're not the asshole. I understand that children need discipline, as somebody was one of the comments they put here. So I get the perspective.
Yeah, but I'm just saying also the thing about the internet that's scary for me is that it's too binary. It's too left or it's too right or it's too this. Like people are not accounting for the fact that all of this stuff is made up. All these labels, left wing, right wing, what. It's something that you decided and something a bunch of people decided. So like if you understand that they're fake in a sense, then you can understand how to have conversations with people without having to go at each other's necks. Like, again, to bring up the recast T'Challa situation, people have been calling me racist, sexist, I hate women, I hate the cast and the crew, I'm a misogynist, what. And I literally come back at them and I'm just like, look, man, this is what happens in Hollywood. This is how they do these things in Hollywood. There's already been, this character has been recast at least twice. And even if you want to talk about a different continuity, it's still the same character and they get compared in performances anyway. So what would be the difference if they recast T'Challa? If, like, really, ask yourself really what would be the difference. And if you're ready for a 10-year reboot, what would be the difference between rebooting him then and rebooting him now? It would be the same because we would have the same conversations and the same comparisons. And then I hear crickets because nobody wants to debate anymore. They were just expecting me to go straight for the throat. Oh, you hate black men, what.
Yeah, no. The thing that counters all haters is a reasonable debate. Nobody wants to debate anymore.
Shout out to you for fighting in these X streets, man.
You know?
It's the only avenue I got. It's the only avenue I got. But just people in the land, please just learn to love life and live it and not trapped in these boxes. It's horrible for you.
Okay, I'm gonna read. This is the last story, all right?
Oh, we go on for another one. Yeah,
just one more. Just one more. This is the last one. And then you're closing for the night.
Okay, cool.
Am I the asshole for not wanting my spouse to go to conventions?
For not wanting my what?
Spouse.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Yes, you are.
Throw away because I think my husband knows my main account. Okay, this is not good. This is not looking well for you.
Hey.
All right. My husband has been attending conventions for like 15 years. We've been together for 9. When he was in high school, he went to a lot of conventions every year. Now it's usually once or twice a year. They're repeating here. Anyway, when we first met, he said, "I'm not gonna be one of those lame 30-year-olds that still go to conventions. That's so weird." Now he's 31 years old and he's still going to cons.
That sounds like a joke. That sounded like a joke. But anyway, keep going.
When we first started dating, I tried going with him to several, and I had a meh time at best. The parts that I did enjoy were only fun because I was completely wasted, and and that's no longer something I enjoy being. We've been married for 4.5 years, 4.5 years, and have a 5-month-old baby. Obviously, it would not be appropriate to bring the baby to a con. Although my husband floated the idea and I quickly pointed out how ridiculous it was, the car ride alone would be too much for him. I've seen babies dressed up as Grogu in conventions. Anyway.
How old? Wait, they said 4 months.
5 months old.
I mean, maybe that's also just like a wild thing because babies don't remember anything at 5 months old. So maybe like going to a con is a bit too much overstimulus. I can maybe see that, but
I mean, even then, your 5 months, your baby might be too young to go anywhere. You should be at home.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. My husband has been saying for weeks that he won't be going to MacFest. Can't afford it. It doesn't make sense. Whatever. Then
you just had a baby, dog.
Then 2 days before he decides that he's going, Saturday morning and coming back on Sunday, I had the feeling that it would happen. I told him it was shitty and to constantly play the game of I'm not going, only to decide last minute that he is going, which he has done multiple times before. He admitted that it was shady and apologized, but insisted that he never gets to see his friends, which is his chance. Most of his close friends live fairly close to us, but he rarely invites them over. They really take him up on it. And his best friend, who lives an hour away, has no job or transportation. So my husband will occasionally drive an hour each way to pick him up and drop him off, which I think is kind of ridiculous. Now he's driven 5 hours away in a car to hang out with friends that don't live as far away to begin with. He also makes a case of wanting to see his conference, who are, I think, are acquaintances at best. He has no intentions with them. He has no interaction with them outside the cons, other than liking their social media posts for in a while. He doesn't know. He doesn't know them or is in an intimate level at all. Wow, what a word. And if it went for cons, he'd lose contact with them entirely. My last gripe is the hotel. I'd be more open to going with him if he booked rooms for ourselves. I'd be happy to wander around the city with the baby while he's at the card. But he's throwing a friend he's throwing a friend $30 deep on a floor of a room that has dozens of people staying in it. I know that this is kind of the norm at cons, but when you are married with a kid, come on. I really wish that this is something I could enjoy with him. I've tried multiple times and have always had a bad time. My husband doesn't attend these things, so he can hang out with me all the time. So I end up feeling ignored. I'm not the most outgoing person, and I've had a hard time connecting with people, and the only conversations involve around fandoms. I love The Office. I just because just because someone else loves The Office doesn't automatically mean I want to be their friend. Wow. I get super bored just hanging out, drinking hotel rooms with people I don't know that well.
She sounds like she has beef with Khan, but okay.
Most of all, I'm annoyed because it feels like my husband is pretending to be 21 again while I'm managing our household and taking care of the kids. I work full time, so I cherish the time I have with my baby. Don't get me wrong. After I spend 12-hour days at work, my husband is eagerly waiting for me to come home and relieve him of the debt duty relieve him of that duty for a little bit because it's work. Duh. From other people's social media, I can tell my husband was up until 6 a.m., which means he's not gonna head home before noon, and he'll get home after 5 p.m. probably feeling like shit. I haven't picked a fight. I haven't picked a fight because I don't want to ruin his weekend, but I'm really fed up with this. What I perceive to be what I perceive to be juvenile nonsense. I haven't texted him much, and he hasn't texted me since 7 p.m. last night. So it's not like I'm ignoring him. I just wish he would find he'd find more adult friends that we could both enjoy hanging out with, rather than reliving the past once or twice a year. Am I the asshole?
Okay, this is a
What a
dicey
story.
situation. This
What
is
a-
a dicey situation. All right, let me weigh in here quick. Again, we're dealing with communication issues because, one, I feel like the husband is like, he's got that phase where he wants to be a young, where you want to be young again. Like in your head, you're like 15, even though you can be 35 or whatever. And I think he's kind of going through that. I definitely understand that wanting to hang with people in certain settings, because I mean, I like friends and I like having friends over, but sometimes I want it to be in a particular space, because I know if my friends come over, then it's going to be disaster, and the one who has to fix it is me, and I'm like, I don't have energy for that. But at the same time, yeah, like, bro, you have a kid. Like, relax a little bit. I'm sure people will understand, and all of that stuff. You don't need to be there all the time. Like, maybe pick one weekend and then just go back to being a dad. Like,
But he also only going once or twice a year. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
well, I mean, it
Yeah.
depends. It depends also,
Yeah.
But like, I think also she has beef with Khan. Like, I don't think she realized who she married.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
sometimes, like, like you can date people who have different interests. That's not an issue or whatever. But I just feel like also don't just like simplify somebody's like passion because you don't seem to enjoy it. You don't have to be there with your husband or whatever. Like, you can stay home and be with like maybe have a girls' night out or something, or call your sister something.
Start a book club.
Yeah.
I think for me, her biggest issue is that sounds like she doesn't have friends outside her husband.
Yes,
That's what it
just say
sounds
something.
like.
No,
Yeah,
but I
sure.
think they're both in a space because she just said they had a 5-month-old baby. So I'm assuming since add 9 months, they've been together alone
9
for this
years.
entire period. So in his head, I'm shooting homie some bail. He's probably like, I've been at home for like a year and a half, and I want to see my homies that I haven't seen in a while. And Con is the best place to do that.
There's 3 things that I want to mention. The first one is, that's the same mindset that I had back, that she has a problem with Con, right? But looking at it on a deeper lens, which is the second thing that I want to say, is also what Tebello said, that it seems like she doesn't have friends. Now, there's a jealousy aspect to it. The fact that, think about it, your partner is excited and fascinated by this thing that you cannot control, that you don't like, right? And is always looking forward to going to this thing, right? So obviously you will be jealous. It's not a woman. It's not another woman. It's Con, right? So there's no way you can actually defeat this thing. So I think there's an insecurity thing here. There's usually when a guy is going out and to have fun with the guys, it's like he's going to a party, he's gonna meet other women. This is not the thing. This is more like this guy's gonna have so much fun without me, and I cannot relate to this fun because it's not my thing. I don't get it and I don't understand it. Right.
But that's what I was talking about earlier when I was saying don't let people fill your cup or whatever.
Yes.
Like don't let somebody shouldn't make you happy. Just like if we can change that, don't let other people make you happy. Because if people have the keys to your happiness, there's a very big chance they're just gonna walk off with it. And then what do you got left? You gotta be like a self-start machine. You can't be a push start machine. So if she can be good by herself, if she can figure out herself and all of that stuff, and not even just necessarily enjoying yourself. I'm not talking about distracting herself and whatever. I'm just saying figure out how you feel by yourself and figure out what's good for you and all of that stuff within yourself internally, outside of your husband and even outside of your 5-month-old baby. Yes. You will be able and better equipped to deal with this entire situation. Although what I will say on the husband side is that you should just keep that stuff in mind as well. You have to remember you're a unit. Like you're not a solo dolo man, so you just also gotta remember that you're still a unit. Even though you'd be like, yo, bro, I've been in the house for 9 months. You gotta remember you married this woman and had a kid. So, but I'm just saying, on her side, she has to realize that if her husband is her circle, she's giving her husband way too much power. Like, don't do that for anybody.
What's her con? What's her con? What's her?
What's her thing? What's she passionate about? Maybe she likes knitting.
No, but it's also from what she said, it seems like it's specifically Con. Like like if he was going to the Super Bowl for the week, maybe he'd feel different. The same way. Even though it's probably even worse. But like you know what I mean? Like I don't know. It seems like that's the vibe.
And what the hell are you doing going to go get your broke ass friends to go to this convention at the other side of town? I was like, go.
No, that's a bit of a wild one for me because I'm just like with that whole friend situation. I can totally understand like somebody saying like Umjita saying, guys, we got something going on, and it's like, thanks for inviting me, but I don't want to go. And at the same time, the other guys on the other side like, phew, thank God he didn't come because when people have parties, things can get wild and all of that stuff. And like even if you're talking about just having a sit down, you're also like, now my wife has to cook for the 4 of us. Now it's other things are happening. Maybe she doesn't even want to cook. Maybe she's irritated when they're there. Like maybe he's also like, you don't realize how you are when my friends are actually over, so let me hang out with them outside. So
also this whole thing, like, why she must get a private suite? If she got a private suite in a hotel, she might want to come with.
No, I mean I get that. That I understand.
I'm gonna shoot both sides, Bill. I think honestly I would need more context because I think I see both sides.
Yeah, I see it both ways.
I mean, her wording is also very petty, but like if I read between the lines, it seems like you just came from a very harsh experience. It seems like you're figuring it out. Money also seems to be an issue a little bit because you brought up money and he's spending money on the homies. But then I also understand his side. This is the only time he sees the homies. So I see both sides.
And I think, and the kid is making things a bit rough for both people involved.
And, you're 5 months into this whole new situation. You're figuring out the new version of your relationship. So I guess both of you don't have it figured out yet.
I think also he is wrong to give her the impression that he's gonna stop, because he's not gonna stop.
But why is she holding him account for something that she said 10 years ago, or when they first started dating when they're in high school? They were in high school. Your perceptions change over time. But
I don't think he meant anything that he said. Though.
Yeah, no, but I think also she was saying that it was a recent thing where he says he was not going, only to switch his mind at the last thing. But I'm saying gents do that all, like my dad does that all the time and everything. Like there's no way you're going to keep yourself from something that you're passionate about. Like that's not going to happen. I'm pretty sure he was saying that for her benefit because she's been nagging him about this thing of not going. So he's like, I'm not going to go, I'm not going to go. And then,
Yeah, I think he long since wanted to go. He long since agreed to go. He's just trying to make a show for the wife.
Yeah.
But he must stop lying.
Bottom line, communication barrier.
I don't know, man. I don't have a baby, but I'm assuming in the first 5 months it's a bit hard. So you probably saying anything to make sure the household is chill. I don't know.
First 5 months. First 5 months.
Like, also, you have to remember, like
the first year of the baby's life is utter chaos.
Like, and you have to also remember, she's in a sensitive situation, so she's definitely gonna throw that on him. Where he's like, "Oh, so you made me have your child, and now you're doing this. Now this is what you're doing," and he's probably just like,
I'll pay actual money to say that he actually cosplayed as Goku when he left.
Don't do that to Goku. Wow. Big Gene from Hunter x Hunter. What are you doing?
Darth Vader.
Gene is way more appropriate from this situation because he named his kid what he will be when that kid was born.
And then gone.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So that's all I have to say with regards to that. Okay. My verdict is it's kind of an asshole.
It's too hard to call. I can't call it.
It's too new.
Yeah. It's too hard to call.
I think she brings up very valid points. Take care of your family, but she didn't give the indication that he's not taking care of the family. He's taking a weekend off.
Yes.
He's not taking a year off. He's not.
But I just think it's because the child is 5 months, so it's just like it seems to be a sensitive time. That's why I'm kind of just like,
Everybody wants a break. That's why I said she also needs friends. Do you know what is the best thing you can do, ladies out there? If you have a friend who's recently become a mom, the best thing you can do for them is not necessarily going there and taking care of the baby. It may mean going over there and cleaning the house, or going over there and mopping, or going over there and cooking a meal. That's the best way to support.
What level of friendship are you on in this current day and age?
He's right.
But that's how.
Or just
being
there, or just being present.
Because that's how it can get overwhelming. When someone says, "Okay, you know what? Take a nap. You're napping with the baby. I'll go put the washing in the washing machine and make sure that the house is clean." That's supporting you. You may not be good with the baby, but you've taken something off the mother's back. That's how you can help out. That's a suggestion. Take it what you will. So,
but also she needs to find friends, man.
That's what I'm thinking. She needs to. She says she's a loner. She doesn't like socializing that much, and she hates it that whenever she's gone to the con, her husband ignores her. He's the social one in the group. I'm thinking she needs a little bit of a support structure.
Also as a person who used to be kind of socially awkward and everything, and I'm probably still am. You just got to realize that it's not as deep as you think it is. You got to understand that if you're looking at something, like I used to think people are cool, only to find out that no, like it was cool in my perception of them. It doesn't mean that it was actually cool. So like, don't be so intimidated by people that you think that it's just going to be this situation where you fall apart. Like my brother, he kind of came out of his shell today, which was great, but he's normally like that, where interacting with people is very difficult for him. And he's just like, you got to remember, this difficulty is something that you're building up in your mind. It's not necessarily a reality.
I mean, I'm also socially awkward. I don't know what I need.
I would never have guessed.
No, see, guys, I need to rev myself up to go out in public sometimes. I need to like. There are many cases where I'm sitting in the car and I'm thinking, okay, it's time. We have to listen to my favorite rock song, or I need to listen to watch a scene from StarCraft where Artanis is being awesome, and I'm thinking, I'm Artanis. It's time to do this for the holla, and then charge out, and then I'm engaging because I get that. I get which is coming from. That's why I said it's important to build a support structure where when you can't cope anymore, you have someone you can go to. You have someone you can call, and it has to be more than one person. It can't be. It takes a village. You know the line. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to maintain a person. That's the simple truth.
100%.
It doesn't stop with the child.
Your partner can be everything to you, and one friend also can be everything to you.
Well, you should be everything to yourself first. Yeah. Like I understand the whole village thing and maintaining a person, and that is important. But like, what I want to say is, people you're a universe unto yourself. Like in this great cosmos, you're also a part of the great cosmos. A drop of the ocean is also the ocean itself. So realize that you're way more worth than any of these things that you perceive to be of value. Like your husband affection should enhance who you are. It shouldn't be the thing that you strive for. His attention should enhance who you are. It shouldn't be the thing that I've got this and now I'm good, because this is gonna fall. Like you see here, it's already high up here. Boom! Now you're down here, and now it's painful.
The one thing I do want to add is, like, let's say the baby wasn't 5 months. Say the baby was 3 years old or something, and you guys got a nanny. If she's still hating on the fact that he wants to go to con, I think that's
because
there's worse things this guy could be doing. He could be going to Sun City for the weekend.
He could be clubbing.
He could be clubbing. He could be going to the beach. Like, I think the fact that she looks at it as immature and childish is a problem. But outside of that, I do see where you're coming from. But chill, lady. There's worse things.
And don't predicate your happiness on your husband's attention. Like, you can be happy by yourself, and then when he comes, it can be even more happiness. Like, don't make that the bar.
Look at us going into the super deep.
We were talking about throwing a blue man like 1 hour ago.
And now look at us.
Realizing, in as much as there's a lot of people that are going to Comic-Con every year, there's so many stories. All these individuals have different stories that are connected to the con. Whether it's an artist that doesn't want their niece there, or it's a parent who doesn't want their nephew there, or what have you. We have different experiences at con.
Anyway, my thoughts, my deep thought for the moment is, girl, build your support group. You're right, you're a universe unto yourself, and that's why I say it's her responsibility to build her support group. So if all in all, I could also suggest go get some therapy. Therapy is, as much as people say
touch
therapy,
grass, breathe oxygen.
You know, this is the touch grass session. That people are too serious in their lives, and they're expecting too much. And if you're, I don't want to say you're expecting too much from your husband, but at the same time, it seems like expecting a lot from him. So my thought is, girl, build your support group, touch grass. It ain't that deep. Like if you are saying it ain't that deep, he could be at a strip club right now. He could have spent the weekend
snorting coke off someone's bum.
Taking a trip with his best friend to a Brokeback Mountain. We don't know. So con is not the worst scenario out there. You know what I mean?
When she says she likes The Office, is she referring to the show or the actual?
Yeah, no, she's talking about the show.
The show.
There's nobody that likes The Office like that. Nobody's going like, yo, that chair. Hey, this reclining. Look at this.
Office con. Literally.
That exists, by the way.
Would you go?
If the what?
If there was an office con, would you go?
I don't think so, because she just said just because you like The Office doesn't mean I have to be. I have to be your
Which
friend.
is wild to me because that's how I meet most of my friends. I was like, JJK, oh!
Yeah.
Star Wars, yay!
You know, there's one thing I will say. Sorry, you just said JJK. Yeah. Guys, the power systems are so freaking complex and confusing.
Yeah.
I need someone to like pause and explain them to me while I'm watching that. I'm like, wait, what?
I think he's just making them up as it
We're all that team where we're just like, I don't know what's happening.
Thank goodness. I thought I was dumb because the whole time they explained Gojo, and I'm like, Gojo can do what now? And I was like, okay,
I think he liked Kakashi so much, and he just felt like maybe his potential was not really, I guess, realized. And he's like, I'm gonna do my own Kakashi, and I'm gonna make him the second most powerful character in the whole show. And his domain expansion is just gonna be OP as hell.
You know?
I think he's. Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead. I think JJK another time.
I think we've gone on long enough. I think we can close it from here. Some of us have to wake up.
Ooh, I have to drive tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I feel sorry for you because you're gonna have to edit this whole thing.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna. You see, we didn't have multiple topics this time. So there are not multiple clips that I need to put in. That's what I like about this one. It's going to be much easier. After I listened to the Kung Fu one, a part of me was like, this is awesome. But at the same time, a part of me was like, never again.
No, everybody on the camera hate being the editor. Like when you're editing yourself, you hate yourself. Like, because I remember when I used to edit, I used to be like, oh, I'm going to put this in the video. Oh, this would be a great part for the video. And then when I'm editing, I'm like, yo, I've been here for 24 hours. What the fuck am I doing?
And then you hate the sound of your voice. It's like, do I stutter that much? I've noticed that I do stutter, or I block myself. It's like my mind glitches all the time. And it gets so frustrating, but you can only do that once you've recorded. Somebody just said once you've started, you see just how bad you are, and then you slowly start getting better. So you learn how to slow down. You won't ramble as much. You will talk more concisely, more clearly. I think the person who I admire the most of the four of us is BuckMeister. He's clear the entire time. I've never had him. I've never had him catch his own words.
Has been killing me also in these.
No, man, we're killing it, man.
Yeah. I think the two of you, you're like my masterclass. Yeah.
Are really dope. Look, that's why sometimes I just let him do the introductions because I feel like, how the hell? Like Buck makes it so easy, guys. Like you guys don't understand. This guy, his energy. I'm like, damn, I wish I had that. Like, no.
No, you guys have actually, like, as a person who's been in this for about 8-9 years now, you guys have a good vibe going. I think, there's a couple of things that we can talk about offline if you guys want suggestions and things. But I think you guys have a solid thing going on, all three of you outside of me, and I definitely want to see you guys take it more forward and everything. And I'm happy to be a part of it.
Domo arigato.
Domo arigato, bro.
I have a suggestion. Sorry, Wait, we'll take it offline. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll take it offline.
All right, then let's close things up. Thank you so much for lasting until this point. We really appreciate the love. The views are coming in. People are taking notice. I got a kick about somebody. I met somebody at Comic-Con. It's like, well, I was listening to you guys. I love listening to you. I listen to you bits and pieces throughout the day, and it's awesome. And I'm thinking, wow. And like, earlier today, somebody messaged like the first 5 minutes and I'm already laughing. I get such a kick out of that and I love it so much. Thank you so much for all your support. Continue spreading. I'm going to say, this is my podcast. I can say the catchphrase, spread us like herpes. We can only spread the disease through mouth to mouth. So keep talking about us. So thank you so much. All right. And have yourself a lovely day. Next week, you're going to bring up some lovely topic. I'm tempted to do a Lord of the Rings. I'm really tempted because somebody did bring that up.
Do we have to watch the Lord of the Rings now?
Oh God. Dude, I'm your encyclopedia. I can give you the entire context. I could make it a masterclass about why you should actually watch the Lord of the Rings. That's how impressed I am. But we'll get to that. We'll see you guys next week. Have yourself a lovely time and peace out.
Cheers.